I will now open the extraordinary council meeting. Item 1. Are there any apologies for absence?
Apologies have been received from Councillor Fulham.
The Constitution requires that I should invite any declarations of interest from members in relation to two items on the council summons. Could you please say your name and the item you have a declaration of interest in, please? Item 3. Review of electoral cycle, possible move to whole council elections. Councillor Baines.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I move that members resolve to move from elections by thirds to whole council elections with effect from the ordinary day of elections in May 2022, and to move parish council elections to match those of the council.
I second that, Madam Mayor.
Any questions or comments? I've got down Councillor Neil that wishes to speak.
Sorry. Thank you, Madam Mayor. I welcome a review to the electoral cycle and will be supporting a move to whole council elections, including parish council elections. Having looked at the consultation responses, I concur with the view that the 4-yearly cycle allows for the removal of one political group and could herald a rainbow coalition which will be beneficial and cross-representative of the electorate. Looking at the budget reports, there are pressures continuing in send transport, libraries, recycling and waste. Just 3 decisions which have not yet been resolved in the 4 years since I was elected. This shows a majority political group are unable to bring forward the savings, and it is time for a new era of innovation which makes the best use of the skills, expertise and experience across the political divide to regenerate the growth and recovery this borough needs. I note in December 2019 that the leader reported to the Star he believed that opposition parties would find it difficult to field candidates in all 16 wards, and this was his rationale to move to a 4-yearly cycle. There are over 170,000 people in this borough, and I simply refuse to believe there are not at least 48 people and many more who are interested in representing their communities, and I look forward to supporting anyone who wants to stand as an independent candidate in the 2022 elections. I hear and share the concerns from residents that the 4-yearly cycle could lead to complacency and campaigning only at election time. However, while there will always be some councillors, and especially those in safe seats, who perceive they only need to campaign at election time, if at all, I know there are many decent councillors in this room, virtually, who go above and beyond for their residents and work hard in their communities. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Neil. Councillor Jones.
Just waited for there we are. Yeah, thank you. We have a choice tonight of either carrying on as we are or we move to 4-yearly elections. Each one of those possibilities does have its own merits. I had noticed that obviously the recommendation of the ruling party is to go for 4-year elections. We will be opposing that because we believe that it would be better to continue as we are. And I say this for 2 reasons. We feel that we are elected as servants of the people, and the servants of and the people should have the right at every possible opportunity to change who they want to serve them on this council. The second point I make is that we had a survey, and in that survey 56% of the people that responded said they wanted it to remain as it is now. That is a firm majority. We believe in going with what the people want to do. We will support the people as the people support us. So we will oppose this motion, but that does not mean that the motion put forward does not have its own merits. It is a simple choice, A or B. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Jones. Councillor Tasker.
Hey, Madam. Okay. Hello, can you hear me? Madam Mayor?
Yes, we can hear you.
Sorry, yeah, just messing around, having to press buttons on the phone to dial in, sorry. Yeah, I agree with the switch to all-out elections. I think it could potentially help improve voter turnout across St Helens, where some areas it's quite low. I think in some wards it goes below 20%. I know in Rainhill we got one of the highest, but we could still improve that here as well. Because one of the arguments that people say is, and we see it in the media each time there's an election, that it's very hard, if not impossible, under the current system to get rid of the government or the local government in one clean swoop. So by switching to all-out elections, we can really reach out to people and say that your vote does matter, it does count. You've got the chance tonight, to see real change in the town. So I fully support it. Also, from my own experience, I know I've only been involved a couple of years, but from my own experience with people, it's hard just to try and get just one candidate, you know, when there's so many people that want to come forward, especially last year when we had the parish elections and we had to narrow it down to just 14 people, which was very difficult because there's many more people that wanted to come forward to stand. So fully agree with this. I know it saves money as well. I think it says in the pack £150,000 over 4 years, which obviously is, you know, a big saving. So yeah, fully support this motion and I hope it gets passed tonight. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Tasker. Councillor Hall, please.
Can you see me? Hello?
Yeah, we've got you.
Oh, great. Maybe a second. Yeah, the Lib Dem group, excuse me, will be voting against elections every 4 years. We feel that elections should remain by thirds. The reasons are it ensures a regular return of new members, which I think is beneficial to a council. It allows judgments of a council annually rather than every 4 years, providing more immediate political accountability. It encourages people to develop and maintain a regular habit of voting, and it enables election staff to retain a practical, up-to-date knowledge of running district elections, district and parish elections. Thanks, Madam Mayor.
Thank you, Councillor Hall. Councillor O'Keefe.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. We will not be supporting the move to an all-out election. There may be 150 grand to be saved by four, but it's anticipated, so it's not entirely certain that will be a saving 150 grand. and I am concerned that we probably, in the interim, as happens in Warrington, lose an awful lot of staff. I know from the elections team that this cost could be eaten up by, say, by-elections for whatever reason. People becoming disillusioned, unfortunately people passing away. But just to answer some of Councillor Tasker's points, well, part of the original Chartist demand was that we have elections every year. And we elect by thirds every 3 years at the moment, and we have a year off. And the reason why St Helens democracy is been in a pretty poor state is because until recently, the opposition parties had faded from view, really. So I don't think we can necessarily blame the voters here, but I think he gets the right. I don't think he gets his diagnosis right. What's wrong with democracy in the country in general is that whether it's thirds or a all-out elections, it's still going to be a first past the post election, and that's very. So either way, these elections won't be, to my mind, reach a suitable democratic threshold. But I will maintain that we should go for thirds, and I don't believe the savings will occur. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor O'Keefe. Does anybody else wish to speak? Councillor Gomez-Aspron.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. It's just a quick point, really. Metropolitan boroughs are a bit of a quirk in that nearly 90% of the country have all-out elections for councils. The reason we don't, and the reason we have a year off, is because it was designed at the time in the 80s when the Tories scrapped the county councils in the areas. County council elections used to be in that blank year we've got. So it was never really through design. It was more to do with dismantling county councils in metropolitan borough areas. Just a few things. It was interesting to hear Councillor Jones say that he's happy to keep this as more expensive, but his reason for not changing council size was because we shouldn't be increasing the cost. And Councillor O'Keefe saying 150 grand isn't really significant and won't materialise. The reason it's anticipated, if I can read a budget, is because it hasn't happened yet, rather than it won't happen. So I just think it's an important point to make. It makes sense. I think it's positive because it stops people campaigning on single flash in the pan issues. You've got to deliver a manifesto in 4 years, and other parties can testify, particularly the Tories and the Lib Dems. It's easy to say what you want in opposition. When you get an opportunity running the council like they did between 2006 to 2010, the public very swiftly realised that they weren't delivering what they promised and almost annihilated them in every party. So I welcome this. Hard-working councillors in any party are great, and people who don't work hard don't deserve to win elections. So that's not the system, it's just the fact. I don't think anybody who doesn't do any work shouldn't be elected, that's fine. So I support moving to all-out elections because it gets rid of flash-in-the-pan topics and makes people put together a proper manifesto that you can deliver over 4 years, and the public can then decide whether they like that or not. And if they don't, like they didn't with the Lib Dems and the Tories, and like they got rid of the Community Action Party in Wigan, it's quite a brutal test, but that's what we're here for. We should never be afraid to go up for election, and if the public don't like what they see, they can get rid. But be careful of going out of the frying pan and into the fire with opposition empty promises. Thank you, Madam Mayor.
Thank you, Councillor Gomez-Aspron. Councillor Baines.
Thank you, Madam Mayor, and thank you, colleagues, for those comments. It's been an interesting debate. The move, Madam Mayor, first and foremost, is a cost saving. Keeping thirds would mean that we have to find £150,000 from other services, and we're all well aware. We've seen the papers tonight, and some of us will have read them. The impact of COVID on council finances in the next year and beyond. So if we don't move to all-out elections, we have to find £150,000 from other services. It's as simple as that. It is also more democratic, as members of the independent group have pointed out in their own way. It is more democratic, providing clarity and certainty for the public and for the council for 4-year periods. Councillor Neil, I know, referred to the council not delivering in recent years. I also note that she was in cabinet for a lot of that time. I think in the last 12 months, we can be proud of the work that the council has done, especially through the COVID crisis. And I think we can all be very proud of the direction that we're heading in. This isn't a party political issue, Madam Mayor. It's about what's best for the borough and what's best for the council. And that's what I care about, and that's what the Labour group care about. And that's why we'll be supporting all out elections tonight, Madam Mayor. And that's why in those elections, we will be the only serious option on the ballot paper. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Baines. A recorded vote will be taken. Joanne will read out your name and you can say for, against or abstain.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I will go down the list in alphabetical order. If any councillor doesn't hear me, I will go back at the end and pick up any councillors who we might have missed. Councillor Baines.
For.
Councillor Banks.
For.
Councillor Bell.
For.
Councillor Bond.
For.
Councillor Bowden.
For.
Councillor Burns.
For.
Councillor Clark.
For.
Councillor Cunliffe.
For.
Councillor Gill.
For.
Councillor Gomez Aspron.
For.
Councillor Greaves.
For.
Councillor Grocott.
For.
Councillor Grunwald.
For.
Councillor Hattersley.
For.
Councillor Haw.
For. Hey.
Councillor Haw, was that Councillor Mike Haw?
Yep, 4. Sorry, Joanne, can you hear me?
I can, sorry, thank you.
All right, Joanne.
Yeah, for. Councillor Howard.
For.
Councillor Jimmy Jackson.
For.
Councillor Pat Jackson.
For.
Councillor Janet Johnson.
For.
Councillor Jones.
Against.
Councillor Derek Long.
For.
Councillor Tricia Long.
For.
Councillor Lynch. Sorry, can I have Councillor Lynch?
For.
Councillor Maloney.
For.
Councillor Macaulay.
For.
Councillor McDonnell.
For.
Councillor McQuaid.
For.
Councillor Murphy.
For.
Councillor Mussel.
Against.
Councillor Neil.
For.
Councillor O'Keefe.
Against.
Councillor O'Sundico.
For.
Councillor Pearl.
For.
Councillor Pearson.
For.
Councillor Charlie Preston.
For.
Councillor Lisa Preston.
For.
Councillor Pritchard.
For.
Councillor Quinn.
For.
Councillor Reynolds.
Against.
Councillor Sims.
For.
Councillor Smith.
For.
Councillor Sweeney.
For.
Councillor Tasker.
For.
Councillor Uddin.
For.
Councillor Vanderberg.
Against.
Councillor Wiseman.
For.
And can I check, I think Councillor Charlton has left the meeting, but can I check Councillor Charlton?
Madam Mayor, Councillor Charlton's written in the thing she can't come off mute. So if maybe someone could ring her to register her vote. She's on her phone, as you're aware.
Okay, thank you. Can I ask advice of the monitoring officer? We have it written down on the chat that Councillor Charlton is for. Would you like me to pause the meeting to telephone her?
Yes,
Sorry, go on.
sorry, Joanne. Yeah,
Let her speak.
sorry, Joanne. Can you get contact with her? I would say though that it is clear from the vote that there is a significant majority in favour, far in excess of the 2/3.
Okay, I've had confirmation. Councillor Charlton cannot speak. Are you happy for me to give the mayor the result, as Councillor Charlton's vote wouldn't make a difference?
Madam Mayor, there is Councillor Charlton has indicated on the meeting chat she wants to vote for, yeah. So that should surely be recognised, at least reported into the into the record of this meeting.
Madam Mayor, it's Kath O'Dwyer, the Chief Executive. I think it would be helpful if we pause the meeting for a moment and one of the officers contacted Councillor Charlton to register a vote personally. Yeah, good idea.
Thank you. So, thank you. You will all go on mute and the meeting will be paused for one moment. Thank you.
She's on the phone, Joe.
So, Councillor Charlton, can you hear me?
She's just said she's on the phone.
Right, I've muted all, so I need to telephone her. Councillor Charlton on loudspeaker. Councillor Charlton, can you say for, against or abstain? For. Thank you.
I declare the motion carried. That concludes the business for this evening. Thank you for your attendance.
Thank you, Madam Mayor.